Hey everyone, happy Monday. This is Porcelain Picks, and I'm your host, Andrew Fabian, bringing you Week 6's version of Porcelain Audit. Week 6, our first losing record of the season. So the Porcelain boys come in, tail between our legs today, seeking retribution and seeking accountability for you all. So we were 6-9 on the slate on this past Saturday. So not a good week. It does bring us to 51-36 so far on the season. We pledge to do better for week 7. We promise you we will bring you the locks you need as you scroll atop the porcelain throne. All right, so let's jump in. We're going to recap all the picks, talk about where we were right, and more importantly, where we went wrong and what we're going to learn from this moving forward, okay? So let's jump in. We had the Red River Shootout, Texas against Oklahoma. This game was back and forth all day. A very exciting game. Hopefully you had a chance to watch that. Texas came in as a 5.5-point favorite. So we did pick Texas minus 5.5. We thought Oklahoma and their strength of schedule was lacking so far this year. They weren't going to be able to put up the points, but Dylan Gabriel certainly did. He looked like a great weapon. His last drive was really convincing of that. So Oklahoma, congratulations on winning. Horns down this week. All right, so Texas minus 5.5. That was wrong. We also had the under in this game at 60.5. That was also wrong, so we were shot down in the shootout, okay? Let's go over to Maryland at Ohio State. So Ohio State was a 19.5-point favorite. We thought Ryan Day would be able to pour it on Maryland, but this team was just sluggish out of the gate. We ended up winning this pick by a half point. If you got in there at 20 points or over 20 points, you would have lost this game. Ohio State does beat Maryland 17-0 in Q4. And for that reason, this was a lock 'em, flush 'em pick. Buckeyes minus 19.5. That was a lock, okay? But they limped through this one. We'll be potentially looking at fading them against Penn State in a couple weeks, all right? So let's go. We've got LSU at Missouri. This game was the big, high-scoring affair that we thought it would be. LSU came into this game as a 2.5-point favorite. Over-under was set at 63.5. So I came in telling you this was going to be another shootout. LSU minus 4.5 was the pick. Over 63.5 was the pick. The over was never in doubt. That one was a lock 'em, flush 'em. LSU, we got lucky. We've got a pick six at the end of this game. LSU ends up winning by 10 points. They had no business doing that. Even Brian Kelly, after the game, said he wanted his guy to go down so that they could just take a knee and keep Missouri from having a shot to get the ball back and put up some yardage. So LSU gives up over 500 yards. They give up over 700 yards against Ole Miss. We'll be taking the overs more as this season goes on. But this game was a clean sweep. 2 locks 'em, two flushes. Let's go. Let's move on. All right. Joey Maction lock of the week. We had Buffalo Central Michigan over 51.5. This one looked good for the majority of the game until close to the ending. Buffalo was up big. Central Michigan couldn't move the ball. We said that running game was going to get going for Central Mich. It never happened. Buffalo was all over them in this game, and that's why the over did not hit. If Central Michigan put some points on the board, that's a different story. But that's how it shakes out. So Joey Mack coming up short this week, but he will continue to bring the locks that you need as he has all year. So big bounce back week with a lot of action ahead of us. So that one was a loss. Okay, let's go to Washington State at UCLA. Washington State came into this game as a 3.5-point dog. They were ranked 13th in the country, undefeated. Playing at UCLA with freshman star Dante Moore. I called this a Washington State Cougars victory. I thought that Cam Ward was going to have a big day for Washington State and the Cougars, so that didn't happen. It ended up being a low-scoring affair. Washington State brought it pretty close. They end up losing this game towards the end, but UCLA, with that victory, takes down the Cougs. Washington State plus 3.5 was a miss for us. All right, so we'll take a look at the Pac-12 slate next week. They've got a lot of good matchups. So more to come on that, okay? Let's jump over Purdue at Iowa. So this windy matchup, we liked the under in this. I also told you you could kind of look towards Iowa to come out victorious, but under 39 was where we got this. That was a lock 'em, flush 'em pick. Iowa unders, man, they're easy. Keep rolling on the Hawkeye unders, all right? Let's jump over now. We had Bama and Texas A&M. We had 2 picks in this game, so I had told you take A&M plus 2.5. That was wrong. Saban got it right. Milroe looked pretty solid throughout the day against A&M. It was a defensive battle. We liked the under 46.5, so we went 1 for 2 in this one. So A&M plus 2.5 was a loss. All right. Bama got it going, and it'll be kind of interesting to watch them the rest of this year. But the under 46.5, lock it, flush it. Let's move on to the night games. All right, so we had Kentucky at Georgia. So I was deliberating which way to go in this game. I did do a lot of research on it. I thought Kentucky was going to show up to play with that plus 15. I thought they'd be able to keep it close, get the running game going with Ray Davis. I thought Devin Leary was going to be able to air it out a little bit on Georgia. Georgia hasn't been really impressive so far this season, so we took Kentucky plus 15. We took Georgia, Kentucky under 47.5. Both were wrong. All right. The Bulldogs poured it on. They put up over 50 on their own. This was never in doubt. So Georgia flexing the muscles. They'll be an interesting pick the rest of the season. All right. Let's jump to Notre Dame, Louisville. This was a huge matchup for the Irish. Again, just third straight ranked team. Louisville coming into this with the home crowd under the lights. Talking about it like it was their Super Bowl headed into this week and like their rivals with Notre Dame. These guys came to play. Great game by Louisville here. The Irish couldn't get it done. I took Notre Dame minus 6.5. I also took the under 53.5. Sam Hartman couldn't really get things going. Estime couldn't get things going. Notre Dame's defense was a little more porous than we're used to. Notre Dame minus 6.5 was a loss. Under 53.5 was a win. So chalk that one up, another 1-1 split. All right, so let's go to the last game of the night. We had Arkansas at Ole Miss. We took Ole Miss minus 11.5. We thought Quinshon Judkins would pour it on with the running game. Arkansas has been a little bit lackluster this year, but the Razorbacks do hold it within that 11.5. We had Arkansas come within 7. So this pick, we ended on a loss. All right, so again, we were 6-9 this week, brought us to 51-36 on the season. We're still very much in the green. We're still very confident moving forward. We've got week 7 ahead of us. We'll have some good matching slate with some weekday games. But here at Porcelain Picks, we're focused around bringing you the locks you need as you scroll atop the Porcelain Throne. Drop us a subscribe. Stay on top of the audit. Stay on top of our weekly picks. Win some money. All right. Happy college football. Let's go. Let's have a good week. Take care.